Hello, my name is Brant Hunt. It's Branthunt. Going to be reading chapter 9, which is simply entitled Sensing Binds All Things. This again is from the book called The Secret of Light by Walter Russell. So this is chapter 9. Thank you for being here. So sensing binds all things. The electric intersensitizing of the two pulsing lights, extension of the one still light, is for the purpose of recording thought pattern in matter. Mind knows but one idea as a whole. Thought is idea taken apart and pattern as separate idea. Thought is pattern, idea, electrically expressed and electrically recorded in matter by its two pulsing, interchanging lights. This universe of matter in motion is the electric record of thought. The process of recording is to take the one undivided universal idea apart and express it as many seemingly divided parts. This gives form and multiplicity into many seeming parts and things of a universe of but one thing. Electricity is the servant of the God-mind. Electricity expresses the desire in the God-mind for creative expression by seemingly dividing the one still light into the transient waves of spectrum divided positive-negative colors of light. The entire universe of seemingly substantially consists solely of transient light waves in seeming motion. All pattern thoughts, creation of God or man, are the interweaving of the spectrum colors of the two electric opposites of light waves into the pattern design of these thoughts. Creation might be likened to the tapestry weaver who knows the one idea as a whole, then thinks it into parts, then records those parts by interweaving their spectrum colors into the many forms which together manifest the whole idea. To exemplify our meaning, consider any one part of the whole idea of creation. That is, for example, iron. Iron is a separate part of the whole. We think of iron as a hard, cold metal with certain properties which make it possible for us to manufacture it into many products. When iron is in a frozen condition, we do not think of it as light, but we can photograph by it if we heat it to incandescence. Not only is it then light, but all of the properties which make it available to us as iron have then gone out of it. It is though the divine tapestry weaver had unwoven all the threads of the idea of iron and sorted them into their spectrum colors, thread by thread. The physicist can tell you what element these threads of light would be if frozen. Upon looking at them, he would say, quote, "That is iron," end quote. But it would not be the form of iron as we know it. It would be the formless idea of iron as the sun knows it. The next section he talks about is there is no separationness. An incandescent sun is all idea that earth knows. The idea of the apple of earth is in the sun. Likewise, the wood of the tree and the violet in the meadow. Likewise, the cool earth is there with its rivers and mountains. All ideas is one idea in the light of the sun. The light of the sun is never divided into as many seemingly separate ideas until it is electrically extended from the sun, and those extensions electrically echo back to it. The sun is a crucible which melts all ideas into one, then sets them out into space to cool and separate into many units of that one. Likewise, idea of mind never becomes the many ideas of creation until electricity divides that one idea into many separate parts. The one light cannot be divided. But extensions of the one light can appear to divide it. The spots of sunlight upon the cathedral floor are many, but they are all extensions of the one light of their source in the sun. Likewise, all mankind is an extension of the one idea of man for man is but one in the light of his source. Likewise, all moving extensions of the one still light as manifested in the white light of suns and the black light in their surrounding space are but extensions of one source. Then he goes into another area, what we call another aspect of what he's talking about. All idea is still. The cinema exemplifies this meaning. Upon the screen are many patterned ideas and noisy, violent motion. We know, however, that all of the motion in the separate ideas and all the sounds emanating from these patterns, moving forms, would instantly cease if the still source of light from which these images and sounds are projected were turned off. We know that the cause of all this transient division into positive and negative effects is in the one still light from which it is projected, I should say. We know that the sounds we hear emanated from that stillness, yet we seem to be totally unaware of the fact that all of our pulsing universe is but the extension of one still light of universal mind, projected through positive and negative light upon the universal screen of space. It is difficult to conceive Earth and all this phenomena of motion, sound, people, animals, and plant life as a motion picture projection from our sun. Yet all of the separate ideas of Earth are in that one incandescent light of the sun. All are but one thing, light. Turn off the sun, and all of its pattern ideas on Earth will instantly cease. The still idea which is extended into motion is not in the motion, but in the stillness from which it is extended. Now let's look at some of his quotes here. Quote, "For I say that man who senses but clay of earth in him is bound to earth as clay image of his earth." End quote. Clayed images of my imagining who knoweth not me in them are but dwellers of earth's dark. To sense man, the doors of my kingdom are self-barred by darkness until the light of me in him is known by him as me. Until then, he is but moving clay, manifesting not me in him, while sensing but moving clay of him, knowing not the glory of my light in him. Quote, "Wherefore I say to thee, exalt thyself beyond thy sensing. Know me as fulcrum of thy thinking. Be me as deep well of thy knowing." All these quotes, the last quotes, are from his work called From the Divine Idiot. And that will be the conclusion of chapter 9 today. And again, thank you for listening and being a part of this. It's a very short chapter. And that was chapter 9 of the book called The Secret of Light by Walter Russell. A true genius, to be quite honest with you folks. So we wish you a good day and take care. And we may do another video later on. We may not. We'll see how that works out. And thank you again for listening. Take care.